Hello, welcome back. Our Duna mission was very successful, and as a result we've been inundated with precious money, and as a result we've been able to put forth this mission to expand our reach in the Kerbal system, Kerbin system, or Kerbal system, depending on how you depict it. This is the Gleno-Space heavy lifting transfer vehicle, and it is basically designed as a tow truck to bring payloads to and from other planets. It's a very heavy craft, and it has lots of fuel, also capacity for 4 crew, and it has a large docking port at the front, so we can basically shove whatever we want onto the end of that. I'm mainly planning to use this for space stations. I want to make a space station around another planet. I think that would be awesome, and also very useful, and hopefully this will make space a little bit more accessible for larger payloads. I'm deciding to skip most of this launch just because, well, we've seen it launches about 1 million times by now, and probably better off to skip most launches. So here is the undocking, activating the nuclear rockets. How to get this thing to space. It turned out quite well, I think. Its thrust to weight ratio is not great, but it's able to get the job done. This isn't it in orbit. So now we need to refuel it. I want this to be chock-a-block full of fuel, so I've designed this refueling craft. It's got asparagus staging on the launch vehicle here, make it a bit more efficient, and I've put these external tanks on the orange fuel tank, if you look at that, and they're all linked up with fuel lines to the engine at the bottom. Thus making orbit. I'm gonna have to rendezvous with transfer vessel, which I haven't given a name yet, so if you do have a name, please leave it in the comments. This is our final rendezvous. Now, I've had a bit of a problem. You see, the RCS unit on this is not great. However, the RCS unit on the transfer vehicle is just fine. So, I'm actually going to dock the transfer vehicle to the silo rather than the other way around, which is not how I really intended it. But I think it'll work just fine. So I'm coming in. I'm just using that little engine just a little bit, not over the top. This is the final docking. As you can see, the RCS is not perfect on this. It's sort of unbalanced for some reason. I'm not quite sure. But never mind. Now that they're both aimed at each other, it should be a breeze getting these docked together. Very simple docking. If you're having trouble with docking, it does help to align the docking targets if you can. That always helps. It makes things a lot easier. Of course, it's probably better off just to point them polar. However, I know on some space stations that's kind of hard. At least for the large components. So I'm going to try and dock this like that, and it's just bounced off for some reason. So I'm going to have to come in again, and there we go. So now, we have to transfer this fuel. See, that fuel tank is full of fuel, so we're going to empty all of that out. Now we've transferred that, it's time to put space station on board. This space station is planned for an interplanetary thing. I've just skipped the launch because you can expect basically gravity turn at 10,000 Ks. 10,000 meters, sorry. 10,000 Ks, 10,000 meters is actually quite a big difference. But this is the orbital insertion burn. This station has got 2 large docking ports on either side, and the idea is once we get it to whatever planet it is, we'll return with the transfer vessel. and then dock more components. So hopefully, this is a successful mission, and we'll be able to make getting to other planets much easier and promote future space exploration. Mission Control have just received word from the crew of the space station that they have felt an explosion and are now losing electricity. It appears as if some sort of object has collided with the spacecraft, as no mechanical failures are reported. So the flight engineer is going to get out. It appears as if the docking port and main electrical supply has been knocked off the top of our spacecraft. Luckily, whatever it was seemed to have bounced off and only destroyed the docking port. However, this has completely dispurposed our mission. This crew are now flying a useless spacecraft. They are also unable to get back, as this was not designed to re-enter, so I'm going to have to send off a rescue craft of some sort. However, it's lucky that the capsule was not destroyed or damaged. So with that, the flight engineer is going to enter the spacecraft again and report his findings. Mission Control, meanwhile, are looking for whatever it was that bounced into the spacecraft, assuming it wasn't destroyed, and are now looking for more leads. So I'll inform you next episode.